All right, that was beautiful, wasn't it? I love that song. You know, a lot of people, include myself, I don't like to be cliche when it comes to movie references and stuff. Honestly, people can create whatever they want, and a lot of these narcissistic gang stalkers, they do dabble in spirituality. They do. They dabble in witchcraft, and yes, they are doing spells and rituals and group rituals and all kind of weird, disgusting sex rituals that would probably make you throw up rather than want to actually have sex. All right, guys, I've been busy while that song has been playing because I am setting up my fireplace altar. I'm getting that set up. I need to put my rack back in my fireplace though. All right, so we're gonna talk about the narcissistic gang stalkers. So I'm getting this ready. I got my everything ready. And I wanted to talk to you guys about the narcissistic gang stalkers. And, they actually got all their ideas from a movie. They probably also read about MK Ultra programming, mind control programming that, probably would only work on someone that doesn't have a powerful mind. And we all know that the witch has a very powerful mind that can recognize bullshit when we hear it. Um, and so, I'm just going to start off like this. They are not with the Adjustment Bureau. They are not with the CIA. They are not with the FBI. In fact, they have absolutely no power. And if they did have some security clearance, they were filing papers or something. you know, it has nothing to do with the government. Okay. For a lot of us ordinary citizens, it can really literally be something as silly as, somebody wants to control you. Usually it's your family. Usually it can be a variety of people. And for some reason, they just don't give up. Exactly what it is that they are fighting for, they have no plight. You are entitled to your liberation and your freedom to do whatever you want. This is what's so strange about the whole situation. And while I do believe that, they do find witches that actually know what they're doing to assist them in their plight. Hold on a second. I get some more coffee made, y'all. While they do find witches that may know what they're doing, for their plight, it's kind of it's a betrayal thing. As far as like if a witch were to actually be down with something like that, you know what I'm saying? So I would never ever, not me, I would never ever be a part of something like that. I am a solitary witch that is building my coven. Me and my coven would never, unless we were defending ourselves, but we would never decide to involve ourselves in such idiocy. So your narcissistic gang coven, you know, it's usually people in your family. A lot of times your family can be in on it. And they're doing it because they want a result, some kind of result. This is usually an elder of the family or either somebody your age, okay, or maybe a little bit younger, a little bit older. The point is that a lot of you guys will become very intimidated by them. And you can't. See, I've been doing this for years. And I don't get intimidated, nor do I get stressed out by it. It's just it's just something that I've gotten accustomed to, and I'm able to live my normal life because of the rituals that I do, because of the clearings that I do. It is kind of crazy that you'll have like this entire group against you, and they are disgusting. I've actually been very lucky, even though in my hometown, which is one of the reasons why I don't want to go back there, because all kinds of horrible stuff happened to me in my hometown. And and it was because nobody was looking out for me. How you and you know what I'm saying? And it just, they're very perverted. They're a perverted idea of what friends or family members would be, right? And something as simple as relocating and moving away can jumpstart this psychosis that they will go into, and they just can't stop. Now, usually they have to have a leader that appears to be powerful. Okay. And just think about it. If they do this kind of crap to an everyday average person, they have destroyed lives, which is why I always take people in. People that are gang stalking victims. It's not the government. It's not the government. It's not. It is, thank you, unknown person. It is people that are perverted. They have probably a sexual obsession with you. They have a increasing desire to control you. And really what you have to do is you do have to, for me, my spirituality is witchcraft. Okay. And if your spirituality is not working for you, or if you're depressed or you're crying all the time, clearly that's not working for you. You have to learn to stand on your own. It's really sad because they will attack your children, or either try. They know better than to say anything or do anything to any of my children. But it's almost like they'll get all of your people involved, and either they're justifying it by some sick, twisted version of love that's not actual real love, or they will justify it by smear campaigns, lies. It's a really childish game. It's not a chess game. It's very childish. They're saying things to you that only a child would be disturbed by, which is why it's really important for you to work on shadow work and healing your inner child. I personally, just coming from personal experience, a lot of you guys are, you want to be good little girls and boys, and oh, I don't want to light that reversal candle. I might hurt somebody. Well, you know what? It's either going to be you or them. And they will do things to try to uproot you. You don't deserve it. You literally are trying to make Rice Krispie treats, and you're not even thinking about it. And in the meantime, they're so sick that it's a constant obsession. It just, it's insanity. And a lot of them are drug addicts. A lot of them are drug addicted. Okay. Hello, one EQL. A lot of them are mentally incapacitated to even think to do something like that. Extremely messy. Extremely messy. Okay. So gang stalking, to me, it creates these phantasms. Even if it's not, even if witchcraft or dabbling is not used. So it's like this energy gets thrown at you. So it is very, very important for you to learn, either learn magic or get your work done from somebody that you can trust. Um, Somebody that you can trust is going to be somebody that gives a damn, somebody that's not self destructive, someone with ethics, someone that isn't the type of person that just says, oh, well, fuck it. I don't care. And there's a lot of people that are like that. Okay. Somebody that's dedicated. So we are sort of working right now on that. Some of you guys have individual people. We're kind of adding them on together. We're currently doing that right now for this dark new moon. And so I am downstairs and I've got my cauldron. My cauldron is going and I'm melting down my shortening oil. Okay. Because I'm making me a big shortening candle. And so it's getting there. It's getting there. Let me show you guys. Okay. So I'm melting that down. And it's really a shame because these people don't actually have the authority to do some of the things that they're doing. It's not like somebody signed off on it. Nobody has the authority. You, as a human being, have free will. Especially if you ain't been to prison. Let's face it, a lot of people that have been to prison have organizations that are watching and following everything that they do, which is pretty messed up, but I guess that would make sense. But you could be an ordinary citizen that's just like you're trying to raise kids. You're like, I got kids and I'm just trying to live life and maybe go swimming in the summertime or something, and then all this weirdness is going on. So what we are doing is a new moon ritual to where we just blasting them. The preparation usually takes a few hours. I've got the petition written out. Okay. I'm not going to show you the whole paper. I'll show you half of the paper is written out. Okay. So it's written out. And I'm just waiting for the stuff to melt. And I wanted to come and talk to y'all about this. It's sickening, but you know what you got to do? And see, it takes a lot to get to where I've gotten, because they will do bindings on you. They will try to oppress you, and they've got a program for everybody. If you're white, they have a program for you. If you're black, they have a program for you. If you're gay, they have various programs. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, and nobody important has signed off on it. In fact, it's all complete bullshit, but it still becomes very real because of the energy that's being put against you sometimes. And especially if there are family members involved. And spirit gonna show you. Spirit will show you who is involved. Yeah, they are pigs. Yep. It's disgusting. It is disgusting. And my gang stalkers, which I don't like to personalize it, but they actually tried to go back to the beginning as if they were going to recreate something. And what they had created previously failed. And God has already told them this is going to fail. It's going to consistently fail. They are going to fail. You have to remember that you can't ever feel like they are going to get that off. You know what I'm saying? Because, the one thing that, people don't realize, because they try to use the Bible a lot. And so they're like telling you that you're evil. They have different, reasons. Everybody has different reasons. You may come from a family where you may have been molested, or maybe you witnessed a crime, or, especially if you've been molested or sexually assaulted. I think I'm not supposed to say that on YouTube, but they've already put a lot of bindings in you so that you wouldn't talk about it. Like whatever it was that was weird that was going on, even if it was the slightest thing that was weird. They don't want to appear to be weird, but they are. They are very, I don't want to say weird, I want to say evil. I want to say sadistic, okay? You know, um and so when you run into a situation where you are an adult and they still won't stop, like they just keep going and going and going, then you have to set up your proper defenses. And so this is a new moon. We are doing this right now. I've got people in the circle. And so I believe that I'm accepting up to 10, and we're going to be working through this um, for probably like a week or two going into June. Okay. So that's what we're working on today. And they don't like it. They don't like it. They think, and there are some people in this world that think, hey, why are you fighting this? Just relent. Just let them do whatever they want to do to you. When I think about this story that I heard about from this young lady, to where she was actually gang raped, totally against her will, gang raped. All these disgusting males just felt like they could take her. And just for me, this type of behavior is absolutely repulsive, right? Yeah. I mean, can you imagine what some people are going through? Some young girls. I've heard of stories about young women being raped by their father, his brothers, just everybody just having their way. No one cares. Everybody's corrupt. Everybody's sick. Everybody's disgusting. Imagine that happening to somebody, and how in your life you can either go either way. You can either become like them or not. Some people do become like them, and it becomes a sexual kink. I believe, what was that they called it? Sex kitten training or something, something to that effect. You know, so I've heard of that too. And you know, a lot of people don't realize that you do have the power to take your life back. It sucks. And a lot of people that have went through that, they typically don't speak about it. People that have spoken about it are meant to be the chariots, for other people to know that there is help out there, that you don't have to give up hope on your life, okay? Because these people are perverted. They're totally perverted. They think it's funny, the emotional abuse, and after a while, I can tell you, I've only gotten a taste of it, okay? I've only gotten a glimpse of it, and that is bad enough. And I'm a witch. I couldn't imagine being somebody that's not a witch, that's going through that, that just feels trapped. But it gets better. It does. It gets better. And I think that it's sad in our society that we have slaves that are just right there, just slaves, right there. They're right there for you to see them, and they can't say anything. And a lot of them have become so conditioned and have developed Stockholm syndrome that they don't even realize that, it's literally just a setup. They can't live the way that they want to live. You're not supposed to do what you want to do. You're supposed to do what you're told by the handler. Okay. A lot of these lovers and stuff are just handlers for the other person. It's not, it's not a real relationship. You know what I'm saying? It's just a handler. And what I think is weird is, they're calling each other on these cell phones and stuff, and you can't make a simple trip to the grocery store, because they're picking up the phone going, hey, they went to the grocery store. Hey, they went to the gym. Hey, they went down the street. Hey, it's weird. It's weird. Like, and so they love to move you around. A lot of you guys that had parents that were dealing with gang stalkers, because this has been around for years, probably moved around a lot, couldn't get settled into one place for long. That's sad. It is. It's very sad, the instability that they create. Hmm. Yeah, well, I can tell you that over here ain't nobody gonna ever be broken and weak. Right. Yeah, I know. I know. And they'll do all kinds of things to threaten people and to keep people in fear. It's really sad. It really is. And okay, so my cauldron is done, and I'm gonna turn this off and let it cool down. Let me take it off of the heat. Ah, that's hot as hell. Yeah, it's very strange, and I can imagine. I mean, I'm dealing with it. I've caught myself picking up some of their habits. I have. I've caught myself picking up some of their habits, but not like that. You know what I'm saying? Just like that, because what they do is they cause so much chaos that you just want things to be right. You want things to be balanced. You want and so yeah, we just do our work. Yeah, yeah. We just do our work and we pray. We pray for our loved ones and well, protection. Nobody really trusts prayer anymore because there's a lot of people that don't know the difference between PREY and PRAY. That trying to tell you where you're gonna live. Oh, you can't live over there. You got to go over there. Oh, no, we want you to do this and we want you to do that. And the reason why they didn't want you to open up your third eye is because they wanted you to not see what they were doing. They didn't want you to see that. And, they will try to take over. They've gotten you fired from every single job that you've been on. They put in phone calls. You can't tell. And this is typically family and friends. And when family and friends do stuff like that, it's really time to walk away. You got family and friends doing crap like that. Oh, if you don't do what I say, I'm gonna. Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna call your job, and I'm gonna do. I mean, it's absolutely preposterous. It really is. They will try to ruin your life. They will. And, nobody needs to continuously go in and out of those cycles over and over again. Do I believe that there is an end game? I do believe that there is an end game. I think that a lot of them are trying to train replacements. The head narcissist in charge who probably has an IQ of 65, because if people had a better, if people were really intelligent, they wouldn't be doing the things that they're doing. So I don't consider them to be smart. And calling them a master manipulator is too much of a compliment. To me, honestly, the behavior is that of a child, that of an evil child, that just has evil tendencies. Okay. So that's really how I see them. I don't see them as master manipulators. I don't see them as that. Especially with some of the stuff that they say, a lot of the stuff that they say, if you listen closely, it sounds like kids on a playground. Sounds like a child on a playground. going na 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 na. Don't even sound like a grown person. You know what I'm saying? So today we are doing the new moon ritual. You guys are more than welcome to get in. I am also accepting clients that are coming for other stuff because I think that that's what their one of their intents is, and they do set their intent with their spells and their rituals for this to take priority. We do give it some priority, but at the end of the day, we're going to move on with life once we get them done. Once we get the cauldron going, we're going to move on with life. We're not going to think about them. And no, their crap cannot infiltrate your work. I think that they have been trying to send out these frequencies to people, and this is the reason why my spirits have decided to destroy their psychic abilities. Yeah. And I use my psychic abilities all the time like that. Like, you know how you go all around your house and you sage and stuff and you go all in the corners. And you know what, I don't always like to do that. And so what I'll do is I'll just burn my stuff in my cauldron, and I will um what's the word that I'm looking for? I will basically make sure that that energy and the intent expands beyond that little small space. So I can expand my mind to cover up my whole house. Basically, I don't think I'm thinking of the right word for it though. Projection. I can project my intent when I'm saging my house is what I'm saying. And so they do use projection. And projection is actually a very powerful psychic skill. My spirits, if they feel that you are using it for evil, they will destroy that skill. They will destroy that skill. Okay. So I need to run upstairs again. I'm gonna let that cauldron solidify, and I've got the petition written underneath it. I'm just gonna sit this up right here, and this will sit by the fireplace for a few weeks. And honestly, when they're doing things that cause loss to you, and when you get angry and you say to them, hey, like what I've been doing, wishing death on them. Okay. I'm sorry. No, I'm not sorry. Okay. So, you got to have enough. And because the problem is, let me tell y'all what the issue is with the whole thing. The issue with that whole thing is that, um, the issue with that whole thing is that you can't end up homeless. You can't end up homeless. You can't end up starving. You can't end up struggling and stressed out, and you know what I'm saying? Like that's what you want to prevent. If you're dealing with any of their agents, if you're dealing with any of their agents, I think that's probably one of the hardest things that a lot of you guys have faced. You want a real connection with someone, and it appears that they are just acting as an agent. uh and that's difficult. That's difficult. It really is very difficult. Acting isn't, people that are acting, that's why it's comparable to the Matrix. Okay, people that appear to be acting as an agent for these and I call them terrorist organizations is what I call them. They seem to uh-oh. They seem to be it they seem to enjoy being called that because They figured, hey, I don't really have the skill nor the mindset to do anything else, so you're making me feel special, right? And then, of course, it's the game of, oh, you're a witch and you're practicing witchcraft and it's wrong. I just love it when Christians and other religious people say that to me. I love it. I love it when they say that to me because it's just so freaking hilarious. It's become like the biggest gag of ever. Like, honestly, and it used to be really difficult, but it's turned into a gag. It's turned into just something that's just so friggin' hilarious because they don't realize that they are practicing witchcraft as well. They're just doing it differently. and they and so you just, they refuse to see that. And they don't want to see you grow. They don't want to see you expand because they're trying to compete. And it's a constant thing, there it really is. And so um we just gonna keep it that skull work until they get the point, till they get the point. hmm and they really, really fear you getting up on your feet so that you can move into a safer place. They really hate that. They don't want you to go and move to a place where they don't know where you're at. And man, that's something. Oh, wow. Wow. Like, they'll put everybody under threat. And you don't want to have to like, can you imagine all of the people that we probably don't hear about that probably just, go to these people's houses one by one and off them? you know, like that would suck because then you'd be throwing your life in the toilet. But I can imagine that they have driven people that crazy. But I think that you have to keep a level head. You know what I'm saying? And that would definitely be fate or just unfortunate. I don't want to say fate, I guess. But so they say you're wrong for practicing your craft, but do you want the latter? You know what I'm saying? Like, and they know to do it to you because they know if they did that to somebody else, they wouldn't be here no more. Oh, it's okay to do it to you because you're the nice guy. But if they did that to somebody else would be ready to, get rid of them, unalive them. So it's stupid. Why don't you just stop? Why don't you just stop? And I know a lot of you guys have, I mean, it's just been in and out, in and out, in and out of this circle. They cause problems in your relationship gets messed up, then you got to come all the way back around, get things back to normal, and it's just constant. And so that's why my spirits have just been saying, just throw them in coffins with some goofer dust and keep it freaking moving. I can imagine that there have been many witches who have went through that darkness and came out of it on top, and I know it for a fact. Okay. I know it for a fact. They're constantly watching social media. I don't understand what's up with them in social media. They have this thing where they don't want anybody to like you. That's so childish. I don't like you and I don't want anybody else to like you. Okay. Yeah. And what do you say to a person that's doing that? Do you buy into it and say, hey, that's kind of childish? Okay, guys. I keep hearing a car. So I've got some things to take care of. I'm gonna go. I think I'm getting ready to. I got some things to do. I'm gonna get everything litty in a few. So I'm still letting people in this circle. A lot of people are afraid to practice witchcraft. So, for example, they'll say, "Oh my God, that's going to be a bad spirit that you're going to be dealing with," because they don't really know what us witches do, because they're weak. They couldn't even imagine doing a ceremony that involves, a bunch of people. All they know how to do, they don't really know how to banish bad spirits and get rid of them and command them to leave. They know how to be subservient to negative spirits and do as they say. They don't know how to do. All they know how to do is obey. So the narcissistic gang stalkers versus the witch will always lose, because really, it is a spirit. It's some of it is spiritual. But what they don't realize is that, number one, they're wrong, right? Number one, God does not want them doing that. They're going totally against God, while at the same time talking about God. A lot of them, or either some of them think that they're God. And it's pretty weird. Anytime you got people faking their death, like literally claiming to be dead, like, can't you take the hint? You're deplorable. And they are on these YouTube streets, and it is disgusting. I don't let it upset my stomach anymore, but it is just disgusting seeing gang stalkers out in the open, gang stalking actively. And when one of them get tired, the other one, it's almost like, how, like, when a child is being abused and one parent beats the child, then the other parent gets tired, they beat the child, then somebody else come in and beat the child. They disgusting. Don't let them beat you. These are sick people, and they don't deserve your kindness. Now, the people that are helping you, the people that are loving you, they do deserve your kindness. But I think that, they will threaten anyone that is associated with you. Like I said, that, I think that it was pretty obvious, the threat. But, it's like, better, don't you? You do. You know better than that, than to ever threaten my children. So, but they will threaten other people. You know what I'm saying? So, and the games that they play are just so disgusting, and they can't handle it when you play that same game back to them. And then add the craft, and I'm talking about expert. I'm talking about the best. I am one of the best witches in the game. Okay. And they would love for you to look haggled. They would love for the skin to be hanging off of your face. They would love for you to look bad. They would love that. They absolutely love that. And these people do create diseases within you. This is one of the reasons why, I make sure that I get my adequate exercise every day. And, I started eating better. I think my breakfast wasn't as good as it could have been. I had some eggs and tomatoes and some fried sausage, you know. But you got to eat. So, and it's really interesting. Hey, Shamika. So, like I said, this group ritual, you can utilize it for gang stalking too, or just, any enemy that you may have, anybody that is throwing spirits or energy at you. or either ill will. And then some of you guys don't know your enemy. And so I've got something set up for that, to where I'm just gonna read whatever spirits are on you, and we'll just do a banishing, because I've been doing banishings all morning. Okay. We just gonna keep on working that thing out. Look at this kitty. You too, unknown person. Look at her. Lena. Lena. She's just got her head rested up against my tarot cards. Lena. Her ears. Lena. She said, hmm. She talks. I have a talking kitty. Isn't that special? So, yeah, I've had her for a few weeks, and she says, cute, just so cute. She's got allergies, y'all. She is so adorbs. So, all right, y'all. I will be talking to y'all later. Like I said, if you have any questions about what we're doing today, feel free to contact me. If you are dealing with this, please fight that spirit off of you. I already know how some of y'all feel. I think I got kind of down a couple of years ago, and it just, but I can see a lot of people just being horribly oppressed by that energy. Okay, horribly oppressed. Okay, you got to fight. You got to stand up, and you have to fight for your right. You got to fight for your right to party. All right, y'all. I got to go. I will see y'all later. Okay. All right. Blessings, guys. Bye bye.